Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Church of Caboose, and welcome back to my channel. For this video, I thought we'd just talk some about Iron Banner. A lot of that is because we're in a current content slump from Destiny. Solstice of Heroes is coming before too long on the next reset on the 19th of July, but that's not really bringing a whole lot of new stuff, so I thought, hey, let's talk about Iron Banner. So let's get on into this. My inspiration for talking about Iron Banner is that I recently managed to complete the Iron Lord title.
What did it cost?
Everything.
Now that title, it took, oh my gosh, so much grinding. And of course there's things that I did that perhaps I kind of did to myself. For example, if you weren't familiar, throughout the week on a singular character, you get these different challenges that you can complete on that character, which will increase your multiplier. For example, the very first day of Iron Banner, on Tuesday, you just play, I think it's 3 games of the Void or a Solar subclass, and you get a boost in your multiplier. For every armor piece that you wear that is Iron Banner themed, you get an increase of the multiplier. And if you want to wear an exotic, you are able to wear an Iron Banner piece of armor and then put an Iron Banner ornament on that piece of armor, and then everything else could be ornaments, and you would be able to wear an exotic and be able to get the max multiplier at that time. So what this ends up meaning is by the end of the week, you have a possible 4 challenges you can do to boost your multiplier. If you have on all the armor and stuff, when you have the 3rd challenge, it's about an 8.8 times multiplier for experience, which was getting me close to 200 points per game. Actually might have been more like 260 points per game when I was in the final ranks of Iron Banner. So this means the fact that I did most of my grinding early on in the week means that I could have just kind of waited some to be able to get more points per game and just done that over the weekend instead. So maybe I did some of this to myself by not waiting for the weekend, but alas, here we are. So things that got better with Iron Banner was that the matches are now 8 minutes instead of 10, and we get to have mercy rules. And to get mercied, you either have to score 3 times and the opponent scores 0, or one team scores 4 times and the other team only did 1. I believe the whole deal is you need to be up by 3 in order to get a mercy roll. In this whole entire time of grinding this week, because the changes with the mercy rule and the time limit were implemented this week of Iron Banner, which is the last week for this current season, I did not have a single game get to 5 rounds. I either lost miserably or I teamed up with some folks in a Discord that I'm in with they're called the Lighthouse. It's a different Discord than the one that I'm also kind of do some stuff with on the side with like I don't know, I guess I'm just there, I guess. Anyways, we ended up getting something like a 40 win streak, something like that. It was nuts. And even with that, we still weren't just flying through the ranks. And that seems to be really the big thing with this Iron Banner. When you're doing the Iron Lord quest thing, my biggest deal that grinds my gears is how slow everything is. There's 2 objectives that are ridiculously slow. You got one where you got 300 points for doing something with the objective, and it seems to be a teammate revive is 1 point, picking up the spark is another point, and then dunking a spark is something like maybe 5 to 10 points. I can't actually quite pinpoint. It just seemed pretty obvious the dunking part was what was worth the most points, and that makes sense. You know, it's the whole objective. It's like football. You know, scoring the touchdown is what gets you the points more so than kicking the kick, which is kind of at the minimum effort. So, you know, that is what it is, and it kind of makes sense. But the sucker with it is you have to do it 300 times. And if you're doing it like I was mostly freelancing it in the first week of Iron Banner. I got to like 270 maybe points in that first week, because it's just kind of hard. Everyone in freelance is going for it. If you run it with a team, not as bad, because you can kind of line up like, hey, I could use grabbing stuff, people will set you up for success, and it helps out a lot. So that's my main beef with this Iron Lord title, is just how long it is. Now some people might be like, but Church, it's supposed to be long, it's a pinnacle PvP endgame title. Alright, Cool. Then why does stuff like the Witch Queen title not take that long? I just haven't finished it because I don't really care to grind out red bars. Like, if you get lucky, it's not that hard to do. Or like the Season of the Haunted title, that was easy breezy. So I'm not too sure why this activity has been around forever. Needed to have so many of these objectives for this triumph to get this title done. Because the other big long one, so you have the 300 points, and you gotta do 2 Iron Banner resets. That took a long time. I saw people reporting stuff on Twitter, things about maybe expect around 100 games of Iron Banner played, and I suspect that they were talking about with the more or less the most multipliers, somewhere probably between Thursday to reset, where you would have the 3 or 4 challenges done. All right. Something else to kind of keep in mind is that the challenges don't stack. So if you do 3 characters and then you're on the end and you've done the 4 challenges on all 3 characters, you don't get a times 12. It's just whatever that particular character is at. So I ended up playing this whole week on my hunter. I was like, you know what? It's the one that needs the pinnacles. I was having a lot of fun with throwing knives and stuff because I've recently started being able to actually get kills with throwing knives. Not saying I'm good with them, just saying I'm good enough to keep trying and keep getting disappointed. But every now and then I get lucky and it's like, woo, that was pretty fun. And so that was just a lot of playing, and that's pretty much my main beef with Iron Banner. Is I'm not sure the mode itself is not too bad. When you're with a team, it's kind of fun, kind of cool. It's kind of interesting playing like football, and there's all these videos of people using Titan melee smashes and stuff to like rocket their teammates across. Most of the games is either you're getting mercied or mercying, and so a lot of times the games are between 4 to 5 minutes long. Occasionally it took closer to the full 10. So you kind of even got the even with cruising through these matches, it still took a while. I think if I had bothered to reset my battle rank, I probably would have gotten like 2, maybe 3 resets done this week while trying to do 1 reset of Iron Banner. Not sure why that had to be so gosh darn long. I'm really hoping that for the next season, we either have a different mode like control or maybe a different objective mode. Maybe it's like control zones or something where it's only really about who holds zones for the periods of time as opposed to getting kills and then like the zones give you multipliers based off of if you have 2 zones, well then a kill gets you like 2 times the points, that kind of thing. It's kind of nice to be able to go back to something it's more kill based because I don't know, I just have more fun struggling in Iron Banner when at least I'm getting kills. It was a lot of fun trying to use Offstringer and Beloved, working on those crafted weapons, leveling stuff up. But it was kind of frustrating feeling like some games you just couldn't do jack squat. A lot of the fun of Crucible is, fighting and slaying out against other Guardians. And if you're in an objective mode that's as fast paced as Rift can be, well, there might not be that much killing going on. Because, let me spit you this scenario here. Say you spawn in, your team runs out, maybe it's disjunction, someone gets 2 snipes off the bat, and someone else gets a shotgun kill. That's half the team dead for the first 6 to 10 seconds of the game. You can easily grab the spark when the spark puts in, if you've got 3 people down, and just bum rush the zone, and most likely if all 6 of you are going, be able to slam the thing, because probably there's only maybe a couple that are back there because there's only 2 or 3 that are alive, and then the folks that are spawning in, they're kind of running to try and catch up, so it's not too hard to have some people just kind of watching the spawn zones and just making sure if anyone does appear, they get laned really quickly. So there's not a whole lot of actual action that's happening inside of a Crucible mode, and gameplay is supposed to be the main thing, but abilities are kind of what's going on, and you really realistically you could get maybe 3 to 6 kills total in 1 round and get the dunk. So potentially, bare minimum, you could expect somewhere between 15 to 20 kills total in a game that gets mercied shared between 6 people. Now, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, sometimes it takes a while, but that's just to me, I was like, I kind of want to just be able to play. That's what's more fun to me. Yeah, it's kind of fun, running in. But I tell you what, even though it's kind of not cool, this team I was with, we just mercied something upwards of 40 games in a row. Around game 20 or so, we were all getting pretty bored of it. We just wanted this stuff over, and of course, you might be like, but you could intentionally throw. Well, who's going to lose on purpose? If there was going through, and it was just kind of mindless going and dunking, and then just moving on to the next team. So that was just kind of my experience within Iron Banner. Something I hope they can maybe do just to make it better is maybe, I don't know, maybe increase the duration of time that the spark needs to go in, and or reduce the amount of time it takes to respawn. Because if a teammate is not gonna do their job and revive their buddy, well, then people are waiting upwards of 10 seconds to respawn in, which really adds into the ability to easily snowball stuff. And it can be pretty hard to get some of those revives off the bat. People will lane with pulse rifles and scout rifles and sniper rifles, and so if someone gets shot down, it can be really tough to get the revive up. Maybe you get it up and they just get farmed instantly, and then you're down, and then look, they do. There's 2 people down now for another 10 seconds, and it's just really easy to snowball stuff. So maybe if we reduce the timer of, I guess, the respawn time, could help balance out some of those issues and allow for there to be more kills and stuff to happen. And that, in my opinion, might make a mode a little bit more fun, because it's a little bit too easy to be like, oh look, half the team's down, let's push, it's 4 against 3 or 6 on 3, easy clap. Just like trials, you get the first one down, it's 3 on 2. Most teams are going to push pretty hard against those 2 that are down because they have the numbers. Odds are pretty high that they're going to win. And that's just kind of the same thing here with Rift. Something that could also just be a nice change of pace is maybe have 1 week in the season where power is not enabled, maybe the first week, and then the second week where it is enabled, just to kind of give some variety. It gives some incentive to play throughout the season. I can get the first week of the season, maybe you don't have power enabled, because that might require a certain level of time commitment that maybe folks just don't have. But by the last week, especially if it's going to be in the last month or so of a season, maybe have power enabled, because what I saw a lot of was a lot of folks that I think just probably got really, really frustrated with the game because they were brand spanking new, and they might have just quit out, right? Because if you're not used to Crucible and stuff, it can be really, really taxing. If you're brand spanking new, maybe it's hard to go against people that are veteran seasoned guys. We run into dudes all the time, they're season rank 5. That surprised me. I was like, what is up with all these season rank -10 guys? Of course, there's ones also, too, that are at the 100. And I'm not necessarily sure it's something that absolutely has to be done. Maybe my reasoning's not the best either. It's just kind of more of a gut feeling. It'd be nice to be rewarded for those that put in time to grind for pinnacle power, to have some sort of incentive for that by the end of the season. And at the beginning, maybe not have that in, and give some variety. Then you have 1 week where it literally does not matter what weapons you want to use, Recluse, Mountaintop, Revoker, whatever. And then the last week, it's like, all right, this is the final one, tourney style. Stuff just got serious. Take this real, and this is more like, I don't know, thrown into the cage zone or something. It's just kind of an idea there to make Iron Banner a little bit more fun. The 2 changes they already put in with the shortened timer and the mercy roll were great. It definitely made it easier just to steamroll and not have things just take forever. So I think that was great. Just hopefully we keep seeing some stuff coming in. I know there's a lot of people that are having issues with aerial effectiveness and the things like classy restoration and abilities and stuff like that. I also get kind of frustrated by it. It's not fun to run around and you think you had a guy with absolute health and all they do is throw down a healing nade and they got an 87 time overshield or whatever, or do a dodge plus classy restoration and worm husk. It's not that great feeling to just not be able to push anybody. It kind of encourages stuff to go kind of slow a little bit, and more so in the 3s and the 6s, but still it's not a great feeling. So it'd be kind of nice to have classy restoration go away and maybe see some more of this stuff addressed by Bungie just kind of in the future. I'm not too horribly sure what this video was exactly. Maybe it was just an Iron Banner summary rant thing, I don't know. I just want to talk a little bit about Iron Banner, and that was the video. I wasn't sure what I wanted to put out. I want to try to have stuff coming out with some level of regularity on my channel. I'm hoping to eventually maybe get monetized. That would be great. So make sure you please subscribe. If you're watching by now, surely I earned you hitting that free button to subscribe to my channel, because that'd be great. I know you liked the video as well. And hopefully, I don't know, I just wanted to talk about Iron Banner, get something out there on my channel, and hope that Solstice of Heroes gives some more actual meaty content to talk about. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I have a couple ideas for videos I might try doing, maybe take some Haterade builds and J-Man builds and just try them out and see what happens when a guy who sucks at Crucible gives these supposedly overload builds let's just see what happens. Like I play with the J-Man every now and then, the same Discord as Haterade. They're good dudes. I'm not saying at all that like, oh, I don't know, it could be kind of fun. You're like, what happens if you use this really good player's insane build, but you suck? So I don't know, if you think that'd be kind of something you'd want to watch, that'd be great if you let me know in the comments down below. Last thing is, the Tag has officially kicked off their charity thing in conjunction with Bungie's donation thing with the Ghost Give Life stuff. I'll have some links for things you can donate in my description box if that's something that interests you. Bungie has their own incentives that are tied to names and whatnot, things like emblems and different dollar amounts, and so that's like, hey, I'm kind of interested in that. Well, then click on the links. Just check them out in my description box, and it'll help you out. I won't get any credit for it. It's not like I click on the link and ooh, Church of Caboose gets a 5% kit. No, I see nothing. It's just going to a good cause that is ran by the organization Tag that I'm affiliated with. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Have a great week. Good luck getting your Iron Lord titles, and happy grinding, y'all.